Our visitor, Sarah, I've been a champion of women affairs, not just in this country. Even when I was doing my studies out of the country, one of my legacies that I left in Netherlands was to start a gender committee which was addressing especially women issues who are being harassed, sexual harassment, and sexual harassment, especially in Europe, is prohibited, it's very serious. And when I came, I was very clear in my mind this time round that as I ran, in politics, and I've mentioned this, that in politics you have to be strategic if you want to win an election. So I looked around and said this time round, because last time I had another strategy in 2013, but this time round I said I must change my strategy and decided that I must put a woman as my running mate. Not just a woman, a pastor. Not just a pastor, from the minorities. That strategy was very difficult for any other candidate to beat, because then I brought the women constituency, the Christian constituency, and the minority constituency, and we are very happy. And as I sit up here, you are right, my CC gender is Engineer Machie. The launch of this comes at a very critical time in our county as Bungoma. We have an assault on two fronts. One is early pregnancy, and the second one is gender-based violence. The statistics I was looking at, and when you get time to go through that manifesto, the statistics I was looking at are very scary. You look at Kandui, we are talking about early pregnancies between 12 years and between 10 to 14 years and 15 to 14 years. And those who are holding the title are Kandui constituents. Kandui is leading, followed closely by Mount Elgon. This is also very surprising. Followed very closely with Webuye West. Followed closely with Tongoreni. Followed by Bumula, Kabuchai, Kimilili, Sirisia, and Webuye East has the list. So these statistics are a bit scary. The other day, Madam Sarah and the women leaders were here. It was very shocking. In fact, when I was told about 54 students pregnant in one school, I thought it was a joke and asked for confirmation, and I was told it is true. So the question that came to my mind is, what is taught in this school? It is only reproductive health and biology practicals. And I told them they should start teaching CRE, history, and also other subjects. Because it's very sad. Because if that is the trend, then we can forget about succession. You people are going to go away. Milinia is going to go away. She's not going to be there forever. Hilda is going to go away. They're not going to be here. So who are going to take over your positions? If the children who are supposed to take over are interfered with in terms of their education at this stage. So this is a concern, and that's why I want to thank the Deputy Governor, because when I was away, we have started initiatives to address that issue with all the stakeholders, because as well as guided by Article 27 of the Constitution, to undertake through this manifesto to promote equitable participation of women in governance, leadership and development processes in Bungoma County. So indeed, women constitute more than 50% of the total population of the county, and yet they are underrepresented, marginalized, and discriminated in political leadership and decision-making spaces. So it is my belief that the Bungoma Women's Manifesto is a direct result of concerns about the historical injustices and insufficient attention given to critical issues affecting women. So it is also a result of concern about the underrepresentation of women in the political space, policy and decision-making levels, and the public life in general. So this manifesto, therefore, recognizes that equity and equality between women and men and girls and boys is a human rights issue. Equality is a condition for gender equity, equality, and social justice. Therefore, my government has demonstrated its commitment to eliminating sexual and gender-based violence, teenage pregnancies, enhance access and retention of women and girls to quality education and training, access to highest standards of healthcare, including reproductive health care, promotion of maternal and neonatal and child health care, sanitation, facilitation, and sanitary materials. I learned with excitement the spirit in the wording flowing with purpose in the manifesto cover.
Implemented, and that is about involving women in issues of peace and security. Now we are here again to launch the Women Manifesto. I want to appeal to our partners that us in the county government, we have very little resources. Kindly, as you have started, continue working with us until we ensure that this manifesto is implemented to the latter. Because we know that after we implement it, we are going to achieve many things that will really benefit the women of this county. Nataka niseme sisi kama wamama tuna huzuni wakati tunasikia Bungoma County inaongoza kwa mambo ya mimba za mapema. If you are a mother, you know what it means. I know we have fathers, but the person who feels the pain more is a woman. And no wonder the Bible says kwamba mtoto ambaye ni mbaya ni mzigo wa nani? Wa mama. Lakini ule mtoto ambaye ni mzuri ni faraja kwa baba yake. So that tells us we have a lot as women leaders. The expectation is too much for us, and we really have to achieve our targets. So anywhere we are, let us spread the gospel. I want to thank our governor because ameanzisha mipira. Na appreciate our members of county assembly, those that were elected, especially those that have been elected once or twice or thrice. I know it's not very easy for you to be elected, putting in mind the kind of cultural background where we come from. So we really want to appreciate them and also to thank our parties for nominating our fellow women to be in those leadership positions. We know that for you being there, you are going to speak a word for the women, grassroots women. And I want to appeal to all the leaders that it is possible for us to be in those leadership positions. And that can only happen if we hold each other's hand, if we work together as women, if we respect each other, if we learn how to talk well about our fellow leaders. I want to assure you that we will go far. Because the statistics tells it all. We are above 50% of the population of this country. And yet, we get very few elected positions. So we need to go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves a few questions. And I'm sure with the kind of empowerment, the sensitization that we have received, I'm sure the narrative here in Bungoma is going to change.